Hey, Liam Ward here at LearnTheHarmonica.com. Today we're looking at soloing over a slow blues. Now, a slow blues is really kind of open and there's loads of room for expression and really getting some gorgeous bluesy sounds into your playing. So we're going to try and take advantage of the format and make it as kind of soulful and from the heart as possible. And with that in mind, I've written some really cool solos for all different levels. In today's YouTube lesson, we're going to be playing a beginner blues solo. And if you'd like to learn 3 full solos, I have a premium lesson on that. So do check out the link beneath the video for that. But in the YouTube lesson, we're going to look at the first of those. And it's a really nice way into playing blues. It's going to be a good way to learn about some of the features of a slow blues, and it's also going to be a chance to try out a couple of techniques and work on understanding the format of a typical 12-bar blues as well. So we'll get through all that stuff as we go. You've heard the solo at the start of the lesson. Now I want to break it down into individual lines and talk about exactly what I'm doing there to hopefully give you a better understanding of what you're trying to learn. So let's have a look at solo 1. Grab a C harmonica, and line A goes like this. Okay. So I'll just give you the tab first, but then I want to talk about some important aspects of this. So the tab, we're starting with a 3 blow, and then we're going to 1 draw, 1 blow, and then we go 1 draw, 3 blow again, 3 draw, 4 draw. So that's all there is to the tab. You might be wondering what all the little dots and stuff in the tab are. Basically, I've tried to let you know when you're holding a note for a long time. So the first note you're holding it for 4 beats, as it's the same with the 1 blow, and then the 3 blow again, and then the 4 draw at the end. So those dashes are just telling you how many beats to hold them for. The other notes in between are a bit quicker. Couple of things to mention. First off, just quickly, I'm actually playing a 2 draw rather than a 3 blow. Now I want this lesson to be open to all levels, even absolute beginners who maybe haven't even picked up a harmonica before. Now what you'll find when you do try to play clean single notes on the harmonica is the 2 draw is a tricky one. It can easily be bent out of tune by mistake, and it kind of sits between notes and just sounds out of tune. So if you're really just starting out, try the 3 blow. But there are advantages to the 2 draw. You can get a nicer tone on it, a nicer vibrato, which you'll hear me sometimes doing. So if you're able to play the 2 draw, with any of these solos at any point, if you can put the 2 draw instead of the 3 blow, that's great, because they're the exact same note. It's just that one is more difficult to make sound nice, but has more potential in it. Anyway. So that aside, I'll always say 3 blow in this lesson. But something that's really important in this line is notice that we're going to the 1 blow, okay? And that's after a bar, because the 3 blow lasts for 4 beats, which is 1 bar, okay? Hopefully you're with me so far. Please try and understand this because it's really important. At that point, we're going to that 1 blow because there's a chord change, okay? Now, quick bit of information on a 12-bar blues. Usually there's 4 bars of the first chord before it changes. So we call that the 1 chord, and then it would change to the 4 chord. Now what's happening here is instead of 4 full bars of the 1 chord, in the 2nd bar it goes to the 4 chord, and then it comes back. So you've got 1 bar of the 1 chord, and then you have 1 bar of the 4 chord, and then you have 2 bars back on the 1 chord. And that makes your first 4 bars. Now, slow blues is a kind of a great example of where this happens a lot. It doesn't mean it's the only context where people are doing it. All different types of grooves with the blues use this 4 chord, the kind of quick change they call it. But a slow blues is a place where maybe more than anywhere else it's happening, and it's because it's it's so slow that it feels very samey. It kind of, it's almost monotonous if you have 4 full bars. That doesn't mean you never do it. Sometimes there are examples of it, but it's very common to have this 1, 2, 3, 4 chord changes there after just 1 bar. So it doesn't mean that we have to always completely follow the change. Sometimes you can just keep playing what you're playing to add some tension to that, but if you do that all the time, then you end up with a situation where you sound like you don't understand that the chord has changed behind you. That kind of suitability and showing that you understand the changes is important. So that's why we're going to the 1 blow, because that's a good note for that chord change. So none of that changes anything in terms of the tab that you're playing, but I do think this understanding is really important, not just for this solo and the other solos I'm teaching, but for creating your own solos, learning other solos. So remember that there's what's called a quick change in there. So in terms of that first line, that's about all there is to think about. Let's have a look at line B. So we've got really nice and simple. 1 blow, 2 blow, 3 blow, 4 blow, 3 blow. And we just play that twice. Okay. Just something to bear in mind, this solo is all single notes. And I want you to aim for getting these as cleanly as possible, clear single notes rather than chords or kind of multiple notes. You know, you don't want that, you want it as... And line B is a good example of, or a good context in which to practice those single notes, because you're just moving along 1, 2, 3, 4, all adjacent notes, the same air direction, so it's a really good one to practice those. Okay, so line C, we have okay, so we've got 3 blow, and then 3 blow, 3 draw, 4 draw, and then 3 blow twice, and then 3 blow, 3 draw, 4 draw. So we've got and I just want to mention something in this line. The 3 blows, or the 2 3 blows that come straight after the 4 draw, so kind of the middle of the line, hope that makes sense. Don't do them as separate breaths. Don't go hoo, hoo, separate kind of blows. Just kind of da. Try and use an articulation of the tongue to split that note into 2. So I'm just kind of flicking my tongue up, da, da. Okay? Like that. And it means you're more efficient with your airflow, you're not working as hard, separate breaths. It's a really good technique to use if you've got 2 quick notes as we have there. And then line D. We're playing the 6 draw, and then the 6 blow, and then the 5 draw and the 4 draw. And a little confession to make, I did a little bit of a bend on that 6 draw. I did a lesson recently on YouTube where I was talking about different types of bends. You've got kind of melodic bends and then inflective bends where you're just kind of shaping the note that you're playing. I did a little bit of an inflective bend there, what you might call a scoop, because the note is just kind of seemingly curving up like that, and then 6 blow, 5 draw, 4 draw. Okay, a couple of lines to get through. So line E, we've got so we've got 6 blow, 5 blow, 4 draw, 4 blow, and then 3 blow twice. And then finally, line F. sticky reed. I'll play that again. Okay, so just one more thing I just want to mention about this once I've given you the tab. So the tab is 3 blow, 3 draw, 4 blow, 3 draw, 3 blow, 2 blow, 1 draw. Now this is what's called the turnaround of the 12 bar blues. So it just means the end of the chord progression. So it means we're turning around in the sense that we're going back to the start of the chord progression. If we were to carry on, we would be kind of back to the start of the chord changes. Now, there's something happening here which, a little bit like the beginning of the 12 bar blues, I just want to mention because it's not completely standard. Again, it's not completely unique to a slow blues, but it's very common in a slow blues for the same reasons we had at the start. So, at the end of a 12 bar blues, you often have 4 bars of the 1 chord, or you have 3 bars of the 1 chord and then 1 bar of the 5 chord at the end. So it just changes for that last bar. What's happening here is a bit like at the start, the second bar of those last 4 bars is a 4 chord. So you've got 1, 1, and then 4, 4, and then 1, 1, and then 5. So you've kind of got that extra change in there. And again, we're trying to show that in our playing. And the point at which that happens is when we go to the 4 blow. So we've got... Again, the 4 blow is a really good note for the 4 chord. So that's why we've chosen to play it there. So we're trying to follow those changes as much as possible. Now you can play this along with any kind of standard 12 bar blues backing track. Ideally look for a slow blues backing track. Not a minor blues, but just a kind of classic kind of slow blues backing track. They're all over YouTube these days, so have a look and see what you can find. Slow blues backing tracks can vary slightly in terms of things like the quick change and then the turnaround changes. So you might find that you almost want to alter it slightly, and feel free, I won't be offended if you want to change my solo, that's absolutely fine by me, because this was based on a backing track with a quick change and with that 1-4-1-5 turnaround at the end. So I hope that makes sense and you enjoyed looking at this beginner blues solo with me. If you'd like to learn 2 more solos, then I have a premium lesson where I teach this solo and 2 extra blues solos, all beginner ones, so nice and accessible. There are a couple more things that I talk about in those extra solos. We talk about leaving space, so not playing as well as playing, and playing double stops, so things like or we talk about this idea of leading into chord changes, so exploring a little bit more of what I was talking about where we're picking notes that fit for certain changes, and glissando, which is where we slide up the instrument or down the instrument. So all of those techniques are kind of discussed and given examples of in solo 2 and solo 3 in the premium lesson. So do check out the link beneath the video to learn more about that. And if you're enjoying my premium lessons, consider becoming a member. For $19.99 a month, I offer access to all of my premium lessons and tabs. And if you join up now, you can get 2 months absolutely free by signing up as a yearly member. Do give me your questions in the comments beneath the video and get in touch via social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Until I see you again, enjoy your practice and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.